Aries, it's time to have a look and see what's going on with your weekly tarot. Just a quick reminder for everybody out there, don't forget to check out your rising and your moon sign. Your rising sign is going to give you further clarity as to how a lot of your sun sign is going to show up, and your moon sign horoscope is going to give you the B-plot or background energy that is also going on throughout the week. I've also got the weekly astrology up already on its own video. It's already got its own playlist on the main channel page. You can check it out there. And if you're watching this the 21st, 22nd, or 23rd of November, I've got a flash sale on gift certificates for my Pathwatcher Soul Strategy sessions. And you can, again, follow the links in the down bar below for more information about what is going on there. And go on ahead to my website, integrativemysticism.com. I also had a live I did recently on how to get unstuck, especially if you're starting to feel like a lot of readings, a lot of predictions, things like that have been sort of teasing you, but not necessarily showing up in your life. What's going on there? Just a bit of a list of what I make myself look at when I want to get the ball rolling again. And everything says the same thing, but nothing's coming. That's what I do. I go right to my list and I share it with you. But be careful, I don't put sugar in my own medicine. So it's it's all about personal accountability. So let's talk about what's going on here with your cards. The main theme of the week is the Chariot upright, and my goodness, a lot of you Aries people are going to be finding that this week is going to shift the power from the slow pokes to the folks that are actually doing the work. And you're going to be finding a lot of processes that have been delayed, whether they're work processes, social processes, creative projects, things like that, especially ones that have maybe been getting held up due to entanglements, or even things that you volunteered to slow down for are not having that challenge anymore. In fact, as I was drawing this card, my higher self was like, the cow catcher cometh, when it comes to a lot of situations where you may have also been encountering a lot of resistances towards advancement, resistances towards positive change, evolutions in all areas, whether it's a resistance to improving maybe a relationship circumstance, a household circumstance, things going on, again, with your work, your own personal abundance. If you've been finding that, there's just been a lot of folks maybe kind of dragging you down, or a lot of things not necessarily moving as quickly as they could, this is going to be a week where you're going to notice the traffic is moving a lot more quickly. But going on to card number 2 here, the Queen of Pentacles, what I call the through line, which, again, what you want to pay attention to if you want to get through this week, all right? What you want to pay attention to if you want to get through this week and have all of this stuff go well for yourself is that you've got to be able to also understand that your journey, your creation, your loves deserve your attention right now. Which means if you're getting preoccupied with other stories, if you're not nurturing and tending to what is growing, putting your attention and energy to where things are getting the most support, where things are showing the most promise, and also giving that energy back to maybe what you might call your babies that maybe you have dispersed, to other people. What have you been letting dictate it, right? If you've been letting, an environmental circumstance, a business partner, maybe in some cases, romantic entanglements, distract, detract, pull away, right? We talk about these sort of high maintenance situations where, it takes more love than it makes love. You've got to be able to pay attention to where certain situations are just proving to be more costly than they deserve. And with the Queen of Pentacles energy there, all right, no, I'm going to build my thing. I'm going over here and I'm creating the new. I'm going over here and I'm actually going to, again, nurture my baby, whatever that is, of course, metaphorically speaking, for you. Let other people take care of their own responsibility for their own lives. The Queen of Pentacles is a nurturer, but also one that is working with her own hands, getting her own hands dirty on her own journey with her own passions. And this is going to get the most support this week. We've also got for your material shifts, you've got the Judgment card up, right? There are going to be a lot of big opportunities to test out of existing conditions that you're in, whether this is getting, you know, maybe getting a chance to test out or interview out of a certain work situation, a certain financial agreement, or maybe even a certain living situation. You're getting a chance to bring a matter to a head that needs to be closed so that people can move on, so that people can move forward in the highest interest of all concerned. And that's going to be popping up throughout this week. When it comes to your non-material situations or your non-material affairs, we've got the Seven of Wands upright. And I do see a lot of you Aries people needing to face where, again, whether it's romantic partners, friends, family members, situations might have actually kind of started to go a bit pear-shaped because perhaps certain ways of carrying on a certain relationship style, a certain household style, a certain parenting style, are starting to go in a direction where it's like, oof, all right, we can't do this. This is not sustainable. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to pitch you against your partner, right? It all depends on what's going on in your own individual journey. But this is going to call for a bit of a referendum to get things back in a healthy way. Perhaps it's you and your partner making a united front against something that's become unhealthy, and you're taking this on together as a team. Those of you who are, you know, looking for love and things like that, the Seven of Wands is indicating you're going to have to make sure that you understand that a lot of folks that may be coming to you for love or coming to you with a relationship intention this week, you know, are going to need to work with you on finding what works well for both of you. Not necessarily something that has just been sort of the same old, what everyone brings to the relationship table every single time. As we get on to your personal shifts, what's going on with you, you've got the Eight of Pentacles, which is absolutely true throughout this read. It's all about refinement. It's all about actually going through and making sure that things are not just trying to pass with a D-, trying to get through and raise the value, raise the health, and of course, do the systemic improvements throughout our lives where we, you know, it's nice to live and let live, absolutely, but you're not letting yourself live if you are declining while capitulating to circumstances that have been put upon you, right? Just answering the demands, almost like emotional, mental, or social or commercial terrorism. This is going to be a time where a lot of you Aries people are going to have to pay attention to where it's time to get things on not only the highest track for all concerned, but reacquaint yourself with the highest trajectory for your work, for your creativity, your spiritual path, your relationships, your own growth. And that's what the Chariot and the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles are really putting that emphasis on for this week. So that's what I've got for you, Aries. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because you know I appreciate it. And if you ever want to get a session with me or take advantage of the Soul Strategy session gift certificate sale, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Taurus. It's time to have a look and see what is going on this week for you. Just a quick reminder, Astrology Weekly Horoscope is up. I'm starting to do those again. If you noticed this last week where I put that up, I think it was on Thursday. I've also got the incoming wave up already as well. And don't forget to check out my live, The List, how to, you know, start reinitiating some chain reactions. If you start to feel like a lot of things, readings, synchronicities, and whatnot, seem to be kind of teasing you with stuff, but not showing up. And remember, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always go to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or you may also follow them links down below. I've got a flash sale going on right now, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of November on gift certificates for my Pathwatcher Soul Strategy sessions. And again, if you want to find out more about those, you can just follow the links down below. Or go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. You have every ability to do that. I trust you. So let's talk about what is going on with your cards. The main theme of this week is the King of Wands upright. And a lot of you Taurus people are really getting a chance to start birthing something that has actually been sort of stuck in the to-do list. And when we talk about the main theme, the main energy, the main drive that's supporting you this week, it is about actually creating the next chapter of your life. And with the King of Wands, I'm actually seeing a lot of you getting a chance to finally physicalize a lot of things that maybe have not been allowed to be put into motion or come forward, whether it's because we have been waiting for the material resources to show up, or maybe we wanted some co-creators there with us, or maybe we've been looking for an opening for ourselves. This is the week where you're going to start to see a lot of those links are finally substantiating. Now, I do want to mention, however, with the King of Wands upright here, is that it may not necessarily follow 100% maybe the script or the to-do list or what you had sort of etched in stone for this agenda. It may actually be something much more fresh, something a bit more up to date, and something that is more current to your own personal growth. So don't get attached to the past just because you held on to it for a long time. This does look like it's actually going to be something that suits you much better. We also have the through line for the week, or what you're really going to want to pay attention to when it comes to if you want to get through this week and get the most out of this week and stay on the highest trajectory for this week. The Ace of Pentacles upright here. And with the Ace of Pentacles, this is all about stabilizing and getting things in proper order so that they are going to, of course, not only be in the most healthy way, let's just say healthy way, to maintain availability for whether it's the abundance you're looking for, the living situation you're looking for, the path you're looking for, the growth you're looking for, getting everything in perfect shape. And yes, I am seeing with the Ace of Pentacles, you are going to find that there's going to be a lot of putting investments down, investments made on you and investments made by you in order for people to actually cement their commitment. Also, again, people putting their money where their mouth is. This is a big part of the the Ace of Pentacles as well. Putting your actions where your words are, putting your deeds where your emotions are. How do you flow into the reality you want to have, right? Are we available to it? It's like we talked about in the list. What is going on with the space, company, and actions we are keeping and taking? This is a week where this can completely reverse a lot of situations that you have been trying to maybe haggle with, negotiate with, parlay with, that have not necessarily been conducive to you being able to step in to the highest outcome here, or the substantiation of a lot of loftier creations you've been trying to actually enjoy. When it comes to your material circumstances, we have the Six of Cups reversed. A lot of you are going to be cleaning up a lot of old business, especially as it relates to the sordid topic of coin, as well as the, any kind of old matters, old burdens, or maybe even old drains on your material and financial availability, whether it's been because you have been holding on to situations that have been maybe draining your availability or your, again, material resources, supporting things, or maybe holding things up, things getting too expensive, or just, again, clouding up and blocking out your calendar. The Six of Cups reverse is indicating there's a lot of freedom coming in here, a lot of that coming back to you to reinvest, reallocate, redecide. Now, the Six of Cups reverse is also indicating a lot of you are going to get a chance to play around with a role or a job opportunity or something that you'd like to start from yourself that is a huge departure from what you maybe either have a background in or something that you have trained in. This does feel like it would be something a bit cutting edge. And do not be intimidated by the idea of something being cutting edge, right? Don't cling to the past. We've got so much dismantling going on. That is an uphill battle. I pray everyone just gets over. When it comes to your non-material shifts or your maybe interpersonal shifts, we've got the Page of Cups reversed. And I'll be honest, this is going to be a week where there is going to be a very clear sense of having certain love languages or certain interactions, certain emotional exchanges no longer do it for us. And it's not necessarily something that has to be taken personally, but I feel like if you're getting courted by somebody that is, turning you off by the way that they're actually courting you, you have to let them know what they're doing is wrong, what they're doing wrong with you. Not maybe what they're doing is wrong, no judgment, right? It could just be, it's just not your taste, different strokes for different folks. But with the Page of Cups reversed, there is going to be this huge recognition of an evolution in your own emotional and social sensibilities, right? The things that used to do it for you, make you, help you to feel loved and appreciated or turn you on or whatever, are not doing it. And it does not necessarily mean anything bad, right? I mean, really, when we talk about long-term friendships, long-term relationships, anything like that, right? The ones that suffer the most, they're the ones that don't evolve, the ones that don't shift, the ones that kind of try and find something to set and forget for all time. So this is going to be a cue that, yeah, there may be sort of some, I want to say passion diminishing here, but it's not because of anything personal. I think it's because people are evolving, people are shifting, and it is going to be, a matter of, okay, well, who is capable of evolving? Who is capable of growing? Who is capable of stepping into a new relationship, whether it's a new relationship with the same person or a new relationship with a new person. It does not matter, because this is about getting away from things that, again, that have worn a bit thin. Love language is no longer doing the trick, and it's okay. We have to address those things, especially when, it's a sign that emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, we are evolving out of maybe what used to be, what used to do the trick. It's okay. We just gotta, move with it, flow with it. As we get onto your personal shifts, what's going on with you? You've got the 10 of Wands upright. Really, this week is all about you, Taurus people, being able to take a step back from situations that maybe have started to slow you down based on how much it takes to hold them up, right? Whether it's just because they're high maintenance. Again, we talk about dropping a lot of expenses, a lot of compromises, a lot of liabilities. But this week is all about you paying attention to where, just because, again, there has been a lot of time, energy, and maybe even, resources invested into something, it doesn't make it a good investment, or it doesn't make it the best arrangement for a certain friendship, a certain relationship, a certain social connection, or a certain project. And how do we make things more efficient? What do we need to jettison? What do we need to actually allow ourselves to have the freedom of growth and complete, wholeness? And sometimes you don't know that keeping things in your life is actually blocking you from feeling whole, because keeping things that aren't you in your life, in your space, is just displacing yourself. So it's time to pay attention to what's going on there. So that's what I've got for you, Taurus. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because you all know I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Gemini. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your week in the cards. Just a quick reminder, if you have not seen the astrology, remember I've brought back weekly astrology in one video. It's kind of a general weather forecast for all signs, and you can find that on my main channel page under a playlist of its very own, if you know how to use YouTube. And if you are interested in the incoming waves, of course, the incoming waves are also up. And don't forget the live where I talked about the list, how to jumpstart and get chain reactions going again when it kind of feels like synchronicities, readings, all that kind of stuff. They all say the same thing, but nothing's going on. It's the list I make myself check all the time to get myself out of any kind of ruts and whatnot. Just be mindful and just remember that I don't put sugar in my own medicine. So it's definitely a bootstrap talk. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you may follow the links down below. Got a flash sale going on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of November on gift certificates for my Pathwatcher Soul Strategy session. So even if you don't think you can do one now during the sale, you can get one on sale and redeem it later. So again, follow the links below or go to my website. So what is going on when it comes to your week? All right, your main theme of this week is the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh, okay, so a lot of you Gemini people are going to really need to pay attention to what is going on with your teams, your units, basically your communities. However you are engaging with your communities, whether they are just, social groups, family situations, household situations, work teams, collaborators and things like that, because there is this sense of like, look, we need to dismantle certain unions or rearrange certain roles, rearrange certain things to better utilize everybody's talents, abilities, and expertise. And maybe even jettison where, where maybe certain situations don't have the expertise, or maybe certain individuals do not have the expertise or qualifications to be doing the job they are, or assigned anyway. They might not be doing it, but they were assigned it. Because this is a very powerful week for you as we get into the Six of Pentacles, where, your through line, what you need to do if you want to get the most out of this week, what you need to do. Okay, the Six of Pentacles is all about taking chances on things that have already been offered to you or that are going to get offered to you to lift you out of certain commitments, certain engagements, again, possibly even, yes, groups, teams, tie-ups, hang-ups. And the Six of Pentacles, I feel like, is going both ways for some of you. Some of you are going to be finding that you are the one who's in charge of going, look, I'm going to finally entertain this. I'm going to finally put this energy here. I've already got, the right crew here. I already know and respect these people. They're already in alignment with what I want. Why am I doing busy work with a bunch of this high-maintenance crap? Why am I doing all of this busy work with, a lot of folks that just seem to be kind of chasing their tails right now? Getting with my own vibe, getting with my own progress. Also, you may be finding that more support is coming in through that. So you're going to have to be okay with breaking apart your own script, your own to-do list. And yes, also challenging a lot of status quos that have kind of come into a bit of amateur hour when it comes to, your work life, your spiritual practice, your social life. Where have things kind of come to a space where there's a huge settling for less and just a lower quality than really, can be there. And if people can't do it, right, if you want to be like, look, what if some people are just not cut out for it? Then let them go. That's all. Going on to your material concerns. When it comes to material concerns, material shifts, you do have the Ten of Pentacles upright, and I am seeing a lot of you coming into a really good way when it comes to seeing how maybe a major work or major career breakthrough is going to be substantiated. And I do see, yes, the material backing is also going to present. Whether it's something that's coming that's getting covered and you can just sort of like have and now lean into it, shift into it, or if this is something where the material resources are actually coming up front with, for you to actually distribute, for you to make those moves with. A lot of you are getting set up to make a permanent shift where you are able to actually close up a long chapter when it comes to your own, personal economy, your own personal abundance, possibly even, a few living situations going through some really cool breakthroughs this week that are going to provide you with an opportunity to set up a new sense of kingdom or queendom, whatever you are working on there. As we get on to your non-material shifts, or maybe your personal life, things like that, you've got the King of Pentacles in reverse. And we're gonna have to pay attention to where certain connections, maybe they're social, platonic or possibly romantic, have kind of started treating maybe the relationship, the family, or the friendship like a business, almost like a job. and it's gotten a bit more mechanical. It seems to be more about just sort of like function and status, or let's just say mechanics and status, and less so, you know, and losing its soul, not really having a soul. And with the King of Pentacles reversed, sometimes we can see that show up with new people as well. Because with the King of Pentacles reversed, I'm getting there is this big challenge to where a lot of folks might be needing to assess where, yeah, certain relationship connections or what have you have, it's almost like being in a relationship with the Borg, you know, or a shapeshifter, where it's kind of like, okay, it's really more about designation. It's really, you know, the family is a business, all of that kind of stuff. Take a step back and see what we can do to kind of save the soul of a lot of, you know, these friendships, a lot of these relationships, if possible. Certain people, Three of Pentacles reversed, mind you, that might not necessarily be emotionally, mentally, psychologically, spiritually available to do that now. And a part of living and let living is also letting them live and do that maybe where they are better off. When it comes to making that decision, again, you choose what is in the highest interest of all concerned for you, your love life, your relationships, your friendships, right? We are really tightening and refining the tribe for you this week, Gemini, and it's looking absolutely gorgeous if you can. As we get on to your own personal shifts, you've got the sun, and it does look like with the sun upright, yeah, there is that breakthrough. There is that opportunity to start actually bringing back parts of yourself, right? Bit of a soul retrieval kind of energy, that return to, you know, this abundant simplicity where things are fun, organic, taking care of themselves, but also at the same time very creative, very stimulating. You know, there isn't this distortion or any kind of, you know, emotional or mental or professional toxicity that we have to constantly stay vigilant or on the lookout for. And this is where you're cleaning that kingdom up for yourself. It's a very powerful week if you will take up that cup. So that's what I've got for you, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. All right, Cancer, it's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your week with the cards. Just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you hadn't already noticed, I brought back Astrology. It's actually a all signs general weather video for this week. You can check that out on my main channel page under a playlist of its very own. And don't forget also the incoming waves are up. And don't forget to check out my most recent live on the list, how to jumpstart and how I go about jumpstarting my own life when I find that synchronicities, readings, and things like that seem to all be saying the same thing and yet not presenting anything. Just a fair warning though, it is a bootstrap talk. I do not put sugar in the medicine I give myself. So it's just something to keep in mind as you go forward. If you ever want to get a session with me, you can always go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you may also follow the links below. I've got a flash sale going on right now, the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of November of 25% off all gift certificates for my Pathwatcher Soul Strategy sessions. Those are not tarot and astrology readings. Those are something that goes way more deep. It's way more intense, but you might want to check it out. And again, I did it on gift certificates because that way, even if you could not find a time to schedule an appointment during the time of the sale, you could always get the discount now and redeem the gift certificate later. So again, go to my website if you're interested in that. So let's have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your cards. Your main theme this week is the Temperance card reversed. And this is the big part where a lot of things that don't belong together are finally able to start moving apart. This is giving off a very neutral kind of feel, right? Very divinely neutral. This is sort of the, it's a spin on what we already know about like attracting like. Well, the likes are starting to find their likes, which is pulling things that are not alike apart. And this is a week where you're going to be finding that this is going to be doing a lot of refinement on how you go about a lot of commitments, a lot of connections, a lot of things that have been maybe stuck to you, stuck to your family, stuck to your relationship, stuck to your job. And the Temperance card reversed is all about like, look, there is going to be a lot of ease and grace this week, especially where we've been maybe trying to muddle through with things that are fundamentally incompatible with us, or fundamentally not a match for the level we are at, right? It's fundamentally just, we're not on the same page. We're not on the same level, and we need to all be at a place that matches our vibration, our lifestyle, our sensibilities in the highest interest of all concerned. You're going to be finding a lot of things are naturally moving away from each other. Now, to navigate this with the through line, the Hermit reversed, I included this card because this is basically what you want to keep an eye on, what you want to work with, and what you want to pay attention to if you want to get through this week and make the most of this week and go through the highest timeline of this week. The Hermit card reversed is indicating that a lot of you Cancerian people are going to want to step out of any kind of shadows. If you've been kind of holding yourself back, you know, maybe spending too much time with a particular type of company or a particular type of social connection or lack thereof, you know, if you've been doing a bit of cave time, whatever, this is a week where it's time to make yourself known, right? Shine your light so the like can attract the like as well. I am seeing a lot of you also being able to reconnect with a lot of projects, people, and pursuits from your roots, things coming out of the woodwork for you so that you can really start to assemble a new sense of divine order in your life, if that makes sense. A lot, you know, much more into this idea of, you know, creating those closer friendships, bridging with closer bonds, and yeah, letting things be debuted, be seen, be made known, that so that they can actually get the attention from the right people, the right groups, or the right business, the right pursuit, whatever you are working on, right? This is not a week to be timid. This is not a week to be dimming your light or waiting for something to pull you off the wall. Do not be a wallflower. In fact, as we get to your material concerns when it comes to, you know, again, yeah, we can talk about abundance, we can talk about work and home life, all just your material concerns. You've got the Queen of Cups upright, and you do actually have some assistance coming your way. Again, if you are grabbing the attention, you are grabbing the interest of somebody that is going to actually create sort of a special way to lift you up when it comes to either your position, maybe a work opportunity. And with the Queen of Cups, I am seeing that this is something that's going to be personalized to you. This is something that's going to be very much in that divine ascended feminine, nurturing what is natural and organic to your abilities, your skills, the way you operate, what's going on with your needs. This can also, yes, very much apply to the terms and conditions of a lot of different financial arrangements, household arrangements. So again, make sure that you are engaging with this. Now, this is, I will say this with the Queen of Cups, it's also important to, again, engage and present your own ideas. This is not somebody you want to make audition and just present a bunch of their own ideas without coming up with anything of your own, right? Because this is a time to work it out. This is not a time to be like, well, what have you got for me? Win me over. Do not treat the Queen of Cups upright that way. She's too good for it, and so are you. As you get on to the non-material situations, the the interpersonal areas, we've got the King of Swords in reverse. Now, the King of Swords in reverse this week is indicating that a lot of you are also going to have to face, or maybe you will get to see for the first time, or maybe we have to finally come around and address the elephant in the room as it relates to either a friend or a relationship partner, or maybe something we catch with somebody new that has either been unaddressed, or something where somebody is clearly hiding from a part of their own growth, a part of their own truth, or maybe carrying on an identity that is not actually true to who they are. Now, be careful with this, because with the King of Swords reversed, sometimes, yeah, these deep, dark secrets can come out. And we may find that there's nothing necessarily wrong with these deep, dark secrets, except that holding on to them is very unhealthy. but we have to treat this situation gingerly no matter what kind it is. In a lot of cases with the King of Swords reversed, there is this very unstable sense of identity within this friend or this partner or whoever is showing up, and they don't know who they are, so they kind of created a costume. Well, this is not necessarily a good time for a lot of, let's just say, chameleons or shapeshifters out there anyway, because we're focusing on the organics. So you might be noticing a lot of chinks in the armor, even if there are things that you have humored, things that you've kind of like, look, I'm just going to be supportive, let my partner do their thing, they seem okay. You're going to find that a lot of these illusions that have been getting held up by, again, whoever this person is, might not be a partner, are starting to collapse. We have to finally deal with what our relationship or our friendship or this person is not dealing with. As we get on to your personal shifts, what's going on with you? You've got the Four of Cups upright. This is going to be a powerful week where you are going to get a chance to break out of a lot of ruts or a lot of things that seem to be a bit wash, rinse, and repeat. But if you haven't noticed, you're going to have to also pay attention to where you have to adopt the approaches of the people that are coming to help you. Queen of Cups upright, the Hermit reversed. All of this is about giving yourself a chance to put yourself out there. Don't try to polish something that's not working. Get out of a rut when you get the chance, when the hand is coming, right? We look at the Four of Cups. The girl is really trying to get this guy's attention. He's kind of like, no, I'm waiting for the Three Cups that I have to do something different. He's been there for like a month. Don't let yourself go in that direction, all right? So that's what I've got for you, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Leo. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your cards for the week. But a quick reminder, if you have not seen it already, why haven't you seen it already? The astrology for this week is up on my main channel page under a playlist of its very own, and you can, of course, go and check that out after this. It's a general weather, all signs astrology, and we talk about the big themes that are going on, right? Because astrology be the weather, and the tarot be the traffic, and there's a whole lot of other stuff going on. It's not just the astrology, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about there. Incoming Wave is up, as well as a new video that I put up. I did a live on Friday, which is all about the list, how to, shake things up, how to get chain reactions initiated again. It's a self-check that I do when I start to see like certain readings, synchronicities and signs are all saying one thing, but nothing is happening. I will warn you though, it is my own personal bootstrap talk, and I don't put sugar in the medicine I give myself. So you got to keep that in mind going forward. So what is going on here? And also if you ever want to get a session with me, go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Got a flash sale going on. You can find out more about that there. So your cards for this week. The main theme of this week, or the big theme that you're going to be encountering a lot, is the Moon card reverse. You're going to be unveiling a lot of secrets, uncovering a lot of illusions, a lot of things that have been going on behind the scenes that are important for you to see completely and clearly. Now, for you, you may also be unveiling certain things of your own, revealing secrets that you have been maybe keeping from others, but it's time to let it out. But you're also finding this revelation energy is also surging through a lot of your personal circles. The Moon card reversed is actually showing up here as a positive though, because this is all about clearing situations where people are on the wrong path because they've been co-creating a lie, or they're not living their highest life because they have been participating in an illusory experience or in a false experience, in an inorganic experience. And so with the Moon card reversed, this clearing is going on here. The right people are stepping in for the job. You are getting relieved of a lot of situations you no longer have to participate in. And you yourself may also be finding that it's time to come clean about certain things that you are no longer going to be co-creating, that you know serves nobody. As you get on to the through line, what is going on with the main plot, or what you need to keep an eye on if you want to stay on the highest trajectory for this week, right? Because your thoughts, actions, deeds, and emotions co-create your reality. The astrology and the tarot don't do all the work. you've got the Ace of Wands in reverse. This week, you need to be paying attention to situations that have gotten, again, that have gone too far to be reversed, so that you can, of course, make the necessary corrections, but I don't feel like a lot of things are going to be necessarily reversible. The Ace of Wands reversed and the Moon card reversed are both showing like, look, you need to be actually quite vocal when it comes to things that you know are no longer actually going to be helping, healing, or expanding the opportunities for love, abundance, and growth in all areas of your life. Now, we can do this without just dropping a blunt opinion socially, awkwardly, all of that kind of stuff. No, we can do it in a way that is constructive, right? Offering creative solutions. But the Ace of Wands reverse is also asking you to honor what you are also burning out on, what has sort of passed its time for you. I'm also seeing with the Ace of Wands reversed, a lot of you are going to need to be paying attention to where you are kind of going through a deficit of the right kind of creative, spiritual, and maybe even, yes, to a certain degree, vocational stimulation, and where you are going to need to be able to change things up in order to get what you want. Because the Moon card reversed, the Ace of Wands reversed, we have to share when we are no longer feeling it. We have to share when we are no longer getting what we used to out of it, or we have outgrown it, so we require more nutrients, we require that shift. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with being able to make that call. I have been very, very clear all this last 2 years about demanding that, you know, when it comes to my own channel, my own work and things like that, I'm no longer going to compartmentalize the deep stuff from the you know, from like the horoscopes and things like that. It's all got to be the same thing. You know, you've got to see where maybe that is actually a requirement in your own life for your own growth, however it applies to you. You've also got, for your material shifts, for your material concerns, the Knight of Swords in reverse. There are going to be some clashes, I think, coming up either in the professional sphere, the social sphere, maybe even around a certain financial circumstance that either you are already entangled in or something that might get presented to you, where you are encountering, how would I phrase it, the embodiment of what you need to leave behind. Now, with the Knight of Swords reversed, in a lot of cases, you are catching something or maybe somebody or a choice that is actually gone into a place that is very dysfunctional. It's very unhealthy. You know, it might be creating a situation that's a financial compromise or a resource compromise for a project or a living situation that you're in, or maybe, you know, threatening to cause more harm than good when it comes to what you provide to other people, what's going on in your teams. Or quite possibly, yes, it could be a sign that there is a lot of consequential experience coming up your way when it comes to things that we have done with or to serve maybe the most volatile or the most angry, the most desperate situation, or maybe even a person, could be a client or a customer or something like that. And we have to find a way to, again, realize that we're breaking with this situation, we're breaking with this culture, we're breaking with this type of arrangement with, you know, when it comes to a team, I'm breaking with this kind of transaction. Because the Knight of Swords reversed is one of those inconsolable kinds of cards, at least when it shows up. It's not ready to grow. It's not ready to expand. It's kind of doesn't even know why it's freaking out. It doesn't know why cause and effect. It doesn't know why bad choices beget consequences. And so you're going to have to do some remedying that there. You may also need to draw some very strict boundaries around yourself in order to, you know, pull back your energies and not only recover from whatever shakeup is coming, but also to protect from any further infiltration of that type of uncomplimentary inclusion into your space. As you get on to the non-material or the interpersonal, you've got the Page of Wands upright, and this is a very, very sweet card here. I'm actually feeling a lot of you, whether it's in your platonic friendships or even your romantic relationships. Both are getting a very, very strong boost. And you guys are just going to get an opportunity to enjoy being a kid again. Enjoy being a kid, being able to have some sweet, fun, puppy love with either your partner or a new partner, or maybe, you know, getting a chance to even geek out, enjoy some mutual passions that have maybe nothing to do with romance itself, but another bonding activity. But again, we also go into the realm of the platonic. A lot of you are getting a chance to finally have, you know, the brotherly or the sisterly relationship you've always wanted to have, whether it's with a biological brother or sister or a friend, or you know, or a group of people. It all depends on what's going on there. But you're starting to see that your personal life is really starting to reflect the you know, the truth of your own heart. You've also got the Knight of Cups over here when it comes to your personal shifts. I've actually got a lot of you Leo people getting encouraged to be a lot more forthcoming with what you might call it to be your you're not necessarily your softer side, but let's just say your more emotionally honest side, especially when it comes to sentimentality, being able to express openly and honestly the love and affection that you have. Funny enough, juxtapose that Knight of Cups to the Knight of Swords reversed. That might be the way to also do some serious, you know, fixer-upper work when it comes to the teams and the emotional and social climates that you've been moving in. Because the Knight of Swords reversed cannot do the open expression of love, right? There's too much toxicity. There's too much damage there. It triggers them, you know, into spiraling. You know, that might be a way to kind of also just let them know, like, look, if you can't handle love, if you can't handle open, honest affection, if you can't handle peace, live and let live somewhere else. I will let you live somewhere else. So that is what I've got for you, Leo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Virgo. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your week. Just a quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or you may follow the links down below. I've got a flash sale going on right now through the 23rd of November on gift certificates for my Pathwatcher Soul Strategy sessions. I do gift certificates, so even if you can't find a time slot that works for you during the sale, you can always just get the gift certificate and use it later and still enjoy the discount. Also, don't forget to check out the incoming wave and this last week's weekly astrology video. My new light astrology playlist is on my main channel page, so you can actually check that out. You know how to use YouTube, you can find it. And maybe you also want to check out my list video. It was a live I shot this last Friday, all about my personal process check for when I want to jumpstart chain reactions. If I find myself in a space where it looks like all the readings and all the signs and synchronicities are saying one thing, but it looks like nothing is presenting, you know, what process check do I take myself through to get back in sync and back in the flow? However, I will say it is something I, again, put myself through, and I do not put sugar in my own medicine. So you might want to keep that in mind. So let's have a look here at what's going on with your cards. You've got the Three of Cups as far as your main theme. This is going to be a big week for community. We are talking about getting into a space where your social climate, your environmental climate is getting a chance to really get elevated to become something so much more conducive to the highest outcomes and the raising of not just the, I guess you could say, personal performance, but also, raising of the vibe, tightening of the bonds between all of your friends, who you call your family, yes, relationships as well. But I am also seeing this call for a bit of refinement at the same time, because the Three of Cups, we are pulling in a lot of attention. You're going to be feeling very, very popular, and you're going to be getting a lot of folks coming in, desiring to get close and closer to you. Now, for the vast majority of it, that is all going to be gravy. It's all going to be wonderful, and, everything's going to sync up just fine. But you also want to make sure that you are holding the right space for that as well. When it comes to working on facilitating and keeping the highest vibration for your environment and for your social life, your social support system possible. So there may also be some points this week, we'll talk about this a little later, where you're going to also have to make some calls as to how you maintain that standard, how you go about maintaining keeping it where it's like, look, only the best, most complementary people are circulating, you know, and getting this close, that are coming within the bounds of this space. What are we doing here? You know, do we have any points of entry for, let's just say, not so healthy, not so balanced, or maybe not so, let's just say not so compatible people? This is going to be a week where a lot of you are going to get a chance to, again, do that refinement. You've also got the Emperor as part of your through line for this week. I've included this as a, look, this is what is your responsibility to pay attention to if you want to get the most out of this week. All right, what you need to pay attention to, what you're going to need to do to make sure that you are staying on the highest timeline, highest trajectory for this week. And there's this huge influx of this divine ascended masculine energy coming through. Again, we're talking about a cosmic force within all of us. It's not about gender, orientation, role, or anything like that. So drop all the old, you know, illusion conditioning if you still got some. But the Emperor card is indicating that you're going to want to pay attention to where you are getting a chance to lead, direct, I don't want to say control, but there's a heavy amount of suggesting going on where you are able to start showing a lot of new ways for people, as well as, you know, even work groups, family groups, but also taking on the responsibility of bringing whatever is needed to the table to facilitate that shift. You are, again, in a space already where we're seeing you rise to a certain level of prominence, but also at the same time take on a role of being a cultivator, being a leader of sorts. And this is your responsibility to accept. So be careful about the things that you defer out, that you outsource during this time that might not necessarily be in the highest interest of all concerned. And I'm also seeing, yeah, you might also need to be a bit more public with some certain limits, but also some certain initiations that maybe you have been keeping a little bit too close to your chest. And you're going to see some shifts going on in your social and professional life for it in the best way. As we get on to your material concerns, you do have the Seven of Cups upright. And this is where I think there is going to be a lot of activity, but you're going to want to make sure that you are also keeping an eye on where you got to take things with a bit of a grain of salt. Again, you are going through this process of being able to change directions when it comes to not only how you are creating the services that you're offering to the world, the roles that you're stepping into, the work that you're doing for people in a way that's actually going to serve you in a better way. You're also getting a chance, however, to also clear out a lot of, let's just say, detractor types of influences that are also going on. You're going to be running into situations when it comes to your work life and how you're interacting, where you're going to be kind of flushing out the chameleons, flushing out the shapeshifters, you know, the ones that might not necessarily be, again, so conducive to the greater whole. We're also seeing you being able to clear a lot of illusions that may be kind of showing up to tease, showing up as a bit of a test, and also clearing up a lot of illusions that may be held about you to get you in a better, again, position to grow to a higher stature, a higher platform in your work. And clearing this all up is also going to be able to, you know, it's going to serve. It's going to serve to actually get you more settled in the lane that you are definitely feeling is best for you. When it comes to your non-material shifts, or what's going on in more of your interpersonal interactions, you've got the Justice card reversed, and we're going to have to sit down and really face facts about certain relationships, be they friendships or even romantic partnerships. I'm not sure if this is a new or an old kind of thing, but we have to kind of start paying attention to where certain one-on-one relationships we've been getting all wrong. Now, it may be as a couple or as a pair of friends, we realize that maybe the certain dynamic or certain arrangement, certain agreement that has been going on between us, it's not necessarily working out so well. And it could be that we could actually keep each other in our lives, but we have to change and completely tear down, again, the arrangement that we have. However, in some cases, you know, it can also indicate we may also find out that people have got us all wrong or we got them all wrong, and that is totally okay. It's about making sure everyone is going to be where they are going to have the best experience, the highest experience. So people shouldn't stay with people or with situations that they've gotten all wrong, right? And this could be, you know, if we can't change it, we can't transform it. If it can't be blessed, it's gotta go. So we gotta pay attention to what's going on with our friendships, with our relationships, what is possible to do with that there. As we get on to your personal shifts, what's going on in your life, you've got the Five of Swords upright, and this is going to be a time where, again, I look right up at that Emperor as well, and I'm seeing you really getting a chance to clear away a lot of dysfunctional, a lot of very much internal and external as well, dysfunctional relationships, things where you may have actually tolerated maybe a bit of mistreatment, things where you might actually be carrying on a lot of, whether they're social contracts or social agreements with folks that honestly are not doing anything about developing healthier behavior. They're really just trying to maintain their station. They're not actually trying to change, not trying to grow, not trying to evolve. And a lot of you Virgos are going to have a chance to really put an end, I think, to a lot of situations where you've been tolerating or enduring a lot of badly behaved interactions from folks. I've actually been seriously going through this already as we get through the end of the weekend. I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of done parenting, you know, people who will not check their energy and their mood when they're dealing with me. And so it's sort of like, we're gonna do that. So you're gonna find a lot of this happening throughout this week, but you're actually getting a lot of, again, support from that Three of Cups and the Emperor to finally do so, and you will see, all right? So you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Happy Thanksgiving for those of you here in the US. Remember to check your rising and your moon sign as well, and if you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Libra. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your week and what is presenting here in the cards. Remember, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you may follow those links down below. I do also want to mention that we've got a flash sale going on right now on gift certificates for my Pathwatcher Soul Strategy sessions. Flash sale ends on the 23rd, so you might want to go and check it out before it ends. You've probably seen me posting all over social media with that. And don't forget, the weekly New Light Astrology video is up under a playlist of its very own on my main channel page. And you might want to check out my list video, my personal process check for when I want to reinitiate chain reactions, when it seems like all the readings, all the signs and synchronicities are saying one thing, but it doesn't appear that anything is actually happening. And so that's where again, I do my own process check. Warning now, I do not put sugar in the medicine I administer myself. So it's definitely a bootstrap talk. So what is going on when it comes to this week for you? All right, so your main theme is the Six of Swords in reverse. And so a lot of you Libra people are getting a chance to do a lot of picking back up and retrieving of things that you may have actually dropped or maybe taken a funny turn away from, that we are maybe needing to actually make that U-turn for. And with the Six of Swords reversed, it very much makes me think of what we talked about in the incoming waves, where a lot of timelines, a lot of stories are starting to get cleared and shown for what they really are, and a lot of things that maybe got dropped or abandoned due to whether their external circumstances or what have you, now have a chance to actually be retrieved. Maybe we kind of, we get a chance to go back and reconnect with some friends that we had walked away from, or we get to go and pick up certain projects, certain career opportunities that we didn't allow ourselves to have. This is going to be the week where a lot of revisits are going on. Now, when it comes to your through line or the highest trajectory card, you've got the Eight of Wands upright, and this is something I've decided to include to let you know this is what you want to pay attention to if you want to have the highest experience this week. If you want to be on the highest timeline for this week, y'all pay attention to this card. and you, of course, do something with it. You got the Eight of Wands upright. This is all about being able to not only speed things up, but to make sure that you are staying in step, keeping up the pace with the stimuli that are coming with you. You've got a lot of opportunities coming up this week, a lot of propositions, a lot of offers. You do not want to make them wait. You do not want to make them stall. You do not want to waffle on them. The Eight of Wands is also giving me an indication here that it's going to be important for you to also encourage things that are being put out there and being proposed with you, to start actually getting the ball rolling with them more quickly. Now, we don't have to do that in a rude way, right? We're not being pushy, but we are allowing things to move a lot more quickly than maybe we are used to accepting. So, you know, shortening the wait time between initiation and manifestation, so to speak. This is a time where you want to stay on the ball, all right? And of course, stay in circulation, stay in contact, keep that up. You've also got, for your material shifts, the Knight of Pentacles upright. And with the Knight of Pentacles, it does look like a lot of you are getting a chance to embark on or connect with somebody who is kind of on a similar mission, or maybe working in a similar field to what you would consider to be your ideal role, your ideal working circumstance, your ideal project, your ideal group. And you're getting a chance to actually bond and sort of pal up and team up in a way that is going to secure you a new opportunity to serve where the abundance and the, let's just say, the responsibility are higher than the level that you're at right now. Because with the Knight of Pentacles, I am seeing, again, you're not only getting a really, really good gig out of this, but you're also pulling a friend closer to you. You're creating a new dream team around yourself this week. We've also got, for your non-material shifts, the Strength card reversed. Now, non-material shifts, this is kind of like your one-on-one relationships, what's going on with, you know, close friends, romantic partnerships, all kinds of things like that. The Strength card reversed, we might end up having a few important but, you know, maybe difficult talks around where certain behavioral or emotional communications are just not done very well or in a very healthy way. And you know, we're seeing a lot of this go on already with the astrology. We talked about this in the astrology video, where a lot of people who maybe have been faking being one way, let's just say one way, are having a lot of that illusion come down. And, you know, a lot of people's shadows are coming out, the stuff they're not working on, the stuff they're trying to misdirect attention from, or maybe the stuff that they're trying to preserve while dawning on an illusory or representational self. It's starting to break out of their own armor. And there may be a lot of issues coming up this week around where people are not actually treating the root cause of their own behavioral issues or their own emotional issues. You may be finding out that, yeah, certain partners or certain friends are kind of losing control of the thing that they've been trying to smother or trying to suppress or trying to, again, ignore or deny. This does not necessarily need to be a horrible week because of that, but the focus here needs to be on health, right? The focus is not on being the emotional rodeo clown so that somebody can just kind of go apeshit on you and then you nurse them back to health and then nurse yourself back to health after. That's not a healthy friendship to have. You know, you might have to tell a couple of girlfriends, you know, like, we got to do this differently. If this is in a romantic partnership, something like that, then it's like, look, if we want to actually be able to have the happiest partnership possible, this is something that has to actually be dealt with in the healthy way now. And I think a lot of people are going to be interested in that, because with the Strength card reversed, one of the things I've noticed in my readings with people is that for the most part, people who have the Strength card reversed show up and give a message like that. They know there's something wrong. They know there's something unhealthy about the way this is carrying on. They want to do better. They just don't know how. And maybe the first thing they need to learn how to do is admit they don't know how, and then go from there. As we get on to your personal shifts, you do have the Star in reversed. What is going on with you? And this is all about you, Libra people, getting into a space where, again, you are recovering opportunities, dreams, creative desires, as well as relationship desires that had maybe gotten pushed aside. What have you maybe needed to let come back into your space? Very much like that Six of Swords reversed. Was there something that you abandoned? Was there something that you let go of? Was there something that you maybe gave yourself a reason to ignore that is actually going to be very, very positive for you? We're getting you back in sync with a lot of things that you thought you had to sacrifice. This could be years ago, right? Again, like we talked about the incoming wave, a lot of people are seeing all kinds of years from the last 20 years pop back up to be revisited, not to be relived, but to recover initiatives, journeys, projects, all kinds of things that they accidentally or purposefully left by the side of the road. You get a chance to do that this week. So that's what I've got for you, Libra. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because you know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Scorpio. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your week and what is presenting here in the cards. Just a quick reminder, I've got a flash sale going on right now at my website, integrativemysticism.com. That's also where you go to schedule sessions. And it's on gift certificates for my Pathwatcher Soul Strategy sessions. And so the reason I do gift certificates is because if you can't find a time you can think of to work with when the sale is going on, you can just get the gift certificate on discount and redeem that later. So if you are interested in checking that out, again, follow the links below or go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. Also, this week's weekly astrology, the New Light Astrology video, is up under a playlist of its very own on my main channel page. You probably already saw that. And this week's incoming wave is up. And if you are interested in checking out a personal process check that I put myself through to get back in the flow, if I'm starting to observe like all the readings are saying the same thing or all the signs and synchronicities are showing up, but it appears that nothing is going on, that is where I go and I kind of check my list. The title of the video is The List. Now, I do want to make a mention right away, though, that I do not put sugar in my own medicine when I, am putting myself through it. So it is a bit of a bootstrap talk, just something to keep in mind. So what is going on when it comes to your cards? So for your main theme of this week, it is the Death card. What is going on? What is the main theme that you're going to see most pervasively? And I am seeing a lot of endings that either you've been initiating, working on initiating, or maybe planning a lot of your life around once they commence are now coming in. They are coming home, they are substantiating, it is physicalizing in your space. Now, the thing about the Death card is to remember, again, these are things that we've seen coming, whether it's, again, things we've started ourselves or things that we have already been observing in trends, right? Maybe we've just been kind of seeing like a certain process, a certain procedure, or maybe a certain arrangement has already kind of come to the final pages of its book. This is where a lot of that is now getting wrapped up and the new thing is already coming in to replace it. And with the Death card, it's not a surprise. It's not something that's going to be throwing you off. It's not something that is, again, that you didn't see coming. It's a very natural thing, and it is something to embrace. And now as we go on, however, to your through line, or what you want to pay attention to, keep an eye on, and keep in track with if you actually want to get the most out of this week. So this is your responsibility. Remember the through line, the highest timeline of the week. You've got the Tower upright. And so the Tower is, all about paying attention to where, yeah, certain things need to start getting dismantled, need to start getting pulled apart. Things need to actually start coming down, right? We are pulling apart the model that we're going to be packing back up in the box and taking with us somewhere else. We are starting to, it's like that phrase, if you want to move, you need to pack. It's like when I moved into this place, I was packing up my place before I found this house, right? You start going through the dismantling process. Now, I am seeing with the Tower, yes, This can and may, in certain cases, create some stressors, especially when it comes to dealing with certain folks who might not necessarily be emotionally, mentally, or maybe in their behavior skilled at coping with transition, or accepting transition, or letting things go without, you know, sitting there and investigating and processing it to death and trying to pull it apart and you know, excavate every little thing and figure, you know, put everything under a microscope. You might encounter some resistance there, especially from situations where you may be on teams or in projects, partnerships, even jobs, you know, where certain bosses or certain clients or peers and colleagues and things like that were kind of just pretending that certain endings were not a thing. You might be finding out that this week, yeah, we are gonna have to start showing that stuff and moving that stuff and letting it be very much known that this is an inevitability. Again, with the Tower card upright, yes, you might encounter that certain folks that just maybe don't know how to cope or never developed the life skills to cope with that. You might encounter some resistance there. Keep going. As you get on to your material shifts, all right, you've got the Two of Cups upright, and beautiful, beautiful energy when it comes to not only your work, your personal abundance, but I am seeing a very powerful alliance, partnership opportunity, or maybe a merging of skills, merging of worlds, merging of missions going on here, which is absolutely going to boost the value and the reward for all parties involved, whether this is you taking on a new bit of work, or again, combining forces with the right person or maybe the right people. We are really striking gold here. And with the Two of Cups, this is definitely something for those of you who've been used to maybe flying solo. You're going to want to make sure that you are open. And I feel like this could also really be supportive of initiatives you've been thinking of maybe playing around with maybe people in your field, or maybe friends. Again, people that you've actually come to understand are essentially like an ideal party member for your adventure group. We'll just put it that way. Definitely starting to see the merging and the collaboration get all that support there. As we get onto your non-material shifts or your one-on-one relationships, you do have the Five of Cups in reverse. And this is going to be a week where you're also recovering a lot of connections, a lot of relationships, possibly certain friendships, or maybe even romantic partnerships, if you're interested in recovering things like that, where you may have actually gone through a period of loss due to something else, where you might have lost that friend, or had to, you know, or whether it's something going on in their life, something that was going on in your life, maybe even when it comes to old flames, things like that. Yes, I am seeing a lot of revisits happening here. Now, sometimes these things come back together to give things a new try. Sometimes these things come back together to redefine the circumstance. You know, we might not necessarily be starting anything up an old way. Keep an open mind. And sometimes we're just recovering things that we accidentally left with somebody else. But what this is bringing something back on home to you. As we get on to your personal shifts, what's going on with you? You do have the Nine of Swords. You're going to be doing a lot of internal work, a lot of shadow work this week, we'll just put it that way, especially when it comes to facing certain things that you wish would just go away on their own. Facing certain fears, facing certain anxieties, maybe even guilt that maybe we've been externalizing a bit too much, as opposed to facing and clearing within. And this whole week, you know, it's very much like the Virgos, almost like the other side, the other coin of the Virgo energy for this week, where it is about getting into the ideal environment, the ideal conditions in which to thrive. But for you, it does look like with the Nine of Swords, it's also about letting go of any kind of guilt or anxiety about just torching things that really have irrelevant unfinished business. Sometimes the only unfinished business you have is to end something that seems to have no end. And sometimes with the Nine of Swords, we also face fears about disappointing or, quote, failing something that we could never actually pass with. And that's an important thing to also look at here. With the Nine of Swords upright, some of you Scorpio people may need to also be able to let go of some lost causes, even though that would require you enduring the guilt of understanding there's nothing that can be done for a lost cause. And at that point, it's not guilt. It's empathy for the pain, but there's nothing to feel guilty about. So that's what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And if you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Sagittarius. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your week and what is presenting here in the cards. I do want to remind everyone I've got a flash sale going on right now. You've probably seen me posting that over social media. That flash sale is on gift certificates for my Pathwatcher Soul Strategy sessions. And that sale goes on through Monday, the 23rd. They're on gift certificates because if you can't find an appointment or time to schedule an appointment or what have you, during the sale, you can always get the gift certificate on sale and redeem it for the appointment when the time works for you. So that's how I kind of roll when it comes to these things. Again, you can always go to my website, integrativemysticism.com, for that. Also, do not forget the weekly New Light Astrology horoscope for this week is up on my main channel page under a playlist of its very own, and the incoming wave is up. And if you are interested in checking out another video that I put up recently, it was the live from Friday, The List. It's my personal process check for when I want to start initiating chain reactions, when it looks like all the signs, all of the synchronicities, all of the readings, everyone is getting, all say the same thing, but it feels like nothing's going on. I go through my own process check. I go like, okay, where do I have a backlog of life lessons or business that I need to do to let all of that stuff actually show up? And so I will mention right away, it is a bootstrap talk. I do not put sugar in the medicine I give myself. So, you know, just keep that in mind if you're going to watch that video. So what is going on when it comes to your cards? Well, for your main theme of the week, you do have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and it does look like a lot of help is coming your way. A lot of voids are getting an opportunity to be filled. And when I say help and assistance, I do mean it. It's going to be offered. It's going to be something that you're not going to really have to look too hard for. But one of the things I am seeing is that with the Five of Pentacles reversed, there may be also assistance coming your way that's also making you need to understand you have to let go of the cookie in the cookie jar to get unstuck from the jar. And this could be something that could be a bit of a life lesson kind of energy, but at the same time, we are filling a lot of voids in, you know, your own personal abundance, your own social support system, really lifting you out of a situation that did at one point in time feel almost perennial. It does not have to be perennial. It does not have to be ongoing. Now, for your main line or your through line, what you want to pay attention to, if you want to get the most out of this week, your responsibility card is the Four of Pentacles in reverse, letting go of the cookie in the cookie jar, making sure that you are open to help, but also paying attention to where the help that's coming is probably going to require you to also learn to do it the helper's way. And this is where I get this feeling a lot of these Sagittarius people may be having to unlearn a lot of things you've been taught to do, trained to do, conditioned to do. This may even at certain points make you feel like you're betraying certain ethics, certain bylaws or traditions when it comes to how things are done in your field, what you might have thought about your spiritual path, what you might have thought about your relationship, what you might have thought about how you were raised, all kinds of things like that. But with the Four of Pentacles reversed, we drop it, we let it go. And again, we learn to do things on the helper's terms as we've been talking about. Going on to your material shifts, what is going on with your material life? You've got the Nine of Cups in reverse. And so a lot of you are going to find that this week is going to be promising you a bit of a break, especially when it comes to your own, personal abundance, your own material resources, your work. But there is something that you are going to have to maybe give up in order to get it, or something about what is coming through, this gift, this boon that's coming your way, cannot be applied to what you thought you were going to apply it to. And what I'm seeing here is that, yes, it's like a wish is getting granted, absolutely, but you can't turn around and then just put a lot of positivity that you're getting to help yourself out into a negative situation that you're supposed to be getting out of. And this could be something that helps you completely rearrange your own material environment, your own material circumstances, especially when it comes to situations where you're trying to maybe change a work trajectory, change a project's future, something going on the home front. But you are going to have to also, again, probably learn a bit of a lesson about, look, if all of this is coming in, this assistance is coming in, this new role, this new project's coming in, or new money, whatever you got to have is coming in, you can't turn around and apply it to the thing that's been costing you this whole time. You can't reinvest in that. And so it's a blessing, but it's also a blessing on the condition that you move onward and forward with your life. This is, I think, a big part of the help that is coming through as well with that Five of Pentacles in reverse. As we get on to your non-material shifts, so your one-on-one relationships, definitely talking about, yes, sometimes romance, but one-on-one relationships altogether, your closest one-on-one connections. You've got the Knight of Wands upright, and it does look like you are getting a chance to embark on a new creative adventure, a new social adventure that is going to also change a bit of your social landscape, whether you are building up maybe a new group, a new clique, a new community around yourself. The Knight of Wands is indicating that this is, bringing in characters that are actually going to be more conducive to having that more kinetic, more upbeat, again, more engaging, inspiring kind of lifestyle. This is also going to be, bringing in a lot of, again, assistance for you when it comes to jump-starting things that maybe have been kind of stuck off in la-la land, things that have been stuck off in the realm of daydreams. One of the things that I'm seeing here, though, is that some of these friends or some of these contacts that are kind of, whether they're new people coming into your life, or you're kind of seeing a musical chairs in your friends and your contacts, some of them will be replacing people you thought were supposed to be with you on this journey. And that's okay, right? We can't, sometimes, I can tell you right now, I've had so many times in my life where I've been trying to get things off the ground, or oh, I want to build this website, oh, I want to build this network, I want to build this thing, and I have like 4 people that I think would be really good for it, and 2 of them, I have to kind of open my mind up and be like, look, I think I'm not looking at who they are, as far as what they're capable of, what they're available of. No judgment to them. I think I'm just overestimating what's possible with this person. Maybe I should be open-minded about other people fulfilling that role. You're going to get a lot of that going on this week. Love is looking beautiful. You are going to be noticing as well a lot more, again, kinetic activity going on in your relationship sphere. Partners becoming a lot more playful, but also partners shedding a lot of what might be kind of seen as they're getting rid of a lot of shadows, and maybe you're also kind of seeing a little bit more of a wholesome energy coming through your partner. Still exciting, still high energy, but something that is going to be more about real bonding and more of that friendship kind of sense. And the same thing would be with new people as well. So it doesn't always have to be salty and sultry. I mean, that's fun every once in a while, but of course, well-rounded relationships are best. When we come on to your personal shifts, okay, when we talk about what is going on with your, just what's going on with you, you've actually got the 7 of Swords upright. A lot of you Sagittarius people are probably going to have to face some things that you have you're going to have to start paying attention to where you've been some certain unstable efforts are going to need to be fixed, need to be healed, especially when it comes to maybe secrets or secret selves that you have been hanging on to. I'm also seeing with the Seven of Swords, you're going to have to face a very, very interesting shadow where some of you may actually like things that are damaged. Some of you may find that's, I mean, I'm not saying like you're addicted to it, okay, but this is what's coming out of the cards. There may be an attachment, you might nobilize things that are not healthy in certain areas of your life, whether it's nobilizing the struggle, nobilizing something that might be unhealthy in a friendship or family or romantic interaction, nobilizing something that is ultimately not serving. It's something that actually is creating more harm than good. And that unstable effort of the Seven of Swords, you know, you are going to get a chance to shift that, let that go. You're getting a chance to kind of see how good things really could be in a life without having to make that look good. And that's going to be a very interesting mirror, very interesting divine reflection to look at for yourselves this week. But maybe that is a big part of also, again, letting go of the cookie in the cookie jar. Are there certain things that we know that are not good for us that we turn into noble experiences, or we trick ourselves into thinking are noble experiences because we might nobilize the struggle? This is a week where we, again, let that be. So that's what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. All right, Capricorn, it's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your week and what is presenting here in the cards. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you may follow the links down below. I've got a flash sale going on right now on gift certificates for my Pathwatcher Soul Strategy sessions. The sale ends on the 23rd. The reason I do gift certificates is because, well, if you can't find a time during the sale to get an appointment, it's okay to simply just get the gift certificate on sale and then redeem it when you can. Also, the weekly astrology video, the New Light Astrology, is up, and the incoming wave is up. Those have playlists of their own on my main channel page. And if you are interested in checking out my own personal process check for troubleshooting when it, you know, appears that all of the readings and all of the signs and synchronicities are saying the same thing, but it appears that nothing is going on, how to get back into the flow, you know, how to initiate chain reactions. I will say right now, it is a bit of a bootstrap talk because I don't put sugar in the medicine that I give myself, but it is something you might want to consider. So what is going on when it comes to this week? Your big theme this week is the Hierophant upright, and you are seeing a lot of your environment going through a big patch, a big rewrite going on. I'm seeing a lot of you also starting to get paired up and paired off with a lot of new people, new circumstances, and new journeys that ultimately are bringing you to places where you are matches and ideal matches. Now, we are rewriting the laws of the land as we go through this as well. Be prepared to also see a lot of existing contracts, commitments, and agreements go through a bit of their own revision, however that's going to show up for you. But it's important to keep in mind that, and I'll say this right now, there does seem to be, let's just say, a higher level kind of energy working through this. This is where, you know, the higher self steps in, the multidimensional self steps in, and really, you know, kind of, okay, look, we can't flounder around here anymore. We can't sit and do this here anymore. We can't wade here anymore. We have out-leveled the zone that we are in. Off we go. Here's the new quest. And a lot of you Capricorn people are going to be having this ushering experience go on in all areas of your life this week. Now, your responsibility this week, your through line, what you want to pay attention to, And of course, you know, maybe again, take responsibility for if you want to have the highest experience this week, the highest timeline this week is the Eight of Cups upright. So with the Eight of Cups upright, I am seeing a lot of you needing to pay attention to where certain things are really done, and you need to be able to do your embarkments and your departures in a timely fashion when it comes to maybe certain social arrangements, certain projects, certain pursuits that have, for all intents and purposes, hit their wall. Not that you've hit the wall, but that they have hit their wall. And I am finding that, yes, there is going to be a lot of incentive, a lot of reward for that, even a lot of things that you have maybe been preparing for, things that you've been trying to build yourself up for, level up for, you are actually in a better position to embark on than you think. And so this is going to be a week where a lot of you are going to get a chance to finally head in the direction of that new job, that new relationship, that new creative pursuit, that new spiritual path, whatever you've got going on, maybe in multiple respects, but you want to make sure that you are also keeping up with the flow, because the Eight of Cups is, again, not only it's your responsibility card, but it is about you volunteering to take your leave when the time comes. As we get onto your material shifts, what is going on in your material realm, you do have the Three of Swords in reverse, and it does look like when it comes to maybe, I'm not sure if this is like your own personal material abundance, something going on again with a project, a job, a pursuit. There is going to be a feeling of needing to kind of cut our losses, especially when it comes to a situation that is proving to either be too costly as far as time, resources, or energy expenditures is concerned to be worth it in the long run. We might be noticing a couple of things, you know, going into the proverbial red, and it's not necessarily something that is worth actually patching. You know, there's only so many holes you can plug in the ship before you realize maybe we need to just get a new boat, or you know, get into a different get on a different transport here. The Three of Swords reversed is showing that you are going to be getting out of this relatively unscathed, as long as you are not one of the prideful types, or one of the types that might get so attached that they don't know when to leave a situation that has actually gone south. The Three of Swords reversed is not indicating that this is being imposed on you in such a way where it's going to be a shock. However, this does look like it's going to be a gradual process that's going to give you room to think, time to think, and time to breathe. But at the same time, you want to stay with this, because again, the ushering energy of that Hierophant is here to kind of show you, like, look, this is what's going to happen if you stay here. However, you don't have to do this. You don't have to, all right? We can put you over here in this block, on this track, on this road, on this pursuit, in this arrangement, however it's going to go. Some of you may be cutting your losses when it comes to, maybe certain paths that you had set up, certain tracks you'd agreed upon with certain collaborators, business partners. Some of you, this might be going on in certain maybe not necessarily financial transactions, but maybe expenses or things you're already locked into, such as living arrangements and whatnot. It's okay. Again, this is not something that is going to hit you like a ton of bricks. It's something that you're going to be able to, you know, have it be pulled apart one at a time. As we get on to your non-material shifts, you've got the Fool upright, and there are a lot of new stories starting, especially when it comes to your close one-on-one connections. So close one-on-one connections, platonic and romantic, and a lot of you are going to be finding that even if those of you who are in existing relationships, that not only a new story, but a new relationship is beginning with the same person you're in a relationship with, if that's what you both desire. Because again, when we talk about long-term relationships, really, you know, a 10-year relationship, you really have like 3 different relationships with the same person, right? That's healthy, that's growth, that's progress. You're going to be different people throughout that time. You got to reinvent it. And there is a reinvention going on in committed situations and existing long-term relationships, long-term friendships. But I'm also finding that this is bringing out, again, a new side of you, or all involved, with which, again, that Hierophant landscape shift is going to be the most supportive. A lot of you may be also finding that you are getting a chance to enter into new commitments, new companionships, new partnerships of all varieties during this time, and this is going to be wiping your slates clean each. As we get on to your personal shifts, what's going on when it comes to you and what's happening within you, you've also got the Empress upright, and this is where this new sense of having everything in its proper place is finally going to get to be realized. If you haven't noticed, we've just been talking about maybe reinventing and jettisoning things that have already been past their time. With the Empress, you are able to set up the perfect environment around yourself. The Capricorns and the Scorpios are going through the same thing. I mean, you're the Capricorn, sorry, the Virgos and the Scorpios are going through the same thing. It's about completely giving a rehaul to everything. But remember, with the Empress, it's also about putting you in an environment, a space, relationships that are gifts that keep on giving to all concerned. It's this complete new sense of more universal abundance and getting away from just focusing on the material side of it. There is going to be a focus as well on getting into the highest tracks for long-term success coming your way, but you've got to be okay with, again, wiggling out of things that maybe you've been attached to winning that really can't be won. And if you're okay with being humble and releasing that, you're going to find it's going to be a damn good week. So that's what I got for you, Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Aquarius. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your week and what is presenting here in the cards. I do want to remind everybody out there that if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. I do actually have a flash sale going on right now where I am doing a discount on gift certificates for my Pathwatcher Soul Strategy sessions. The reason I do gift certificates is that for folks who maybe want to take advantage of the sale but can't find a time to work in an appointment during the sale or right now, you can still have the discount and then redeem the gift certificate later. So that's available at my website. Also, do not forget that the astrology is back in new form. So if you want to check out my new light astrology horoscope for this week, that's on my main channel page under a playlist of its very own. Incoming wave is up. And if you're interested in observing a bit of a process check that I put myself through when it comes to getting back into the flow, when it looks like all the readings, all the signs and synchronicities seem to say the same thing, and yet it appears nothing is going on, it's time to do a personal process check. Where's the backlog of, you know, your own life lessons, your own personal story that needs to be worked on? I will say it is a bootstrap talk. I do not put sugar in the medicine I administer myself. So keep that in mind if you're going to watch that video. So what is going on when it comes to your week? The main theme of this week is the Four of Wands upright, and a lot of you Aquarius people are going to be finding that there are a great deal of upgrades to your quality of life now being realized and accomplished throughout this week. When we talk about upgrades, you know, we are talking about big breakthroughs, big chapter turns that are, yes, presenting a no going back, but this increase in the quality of life, why would you, right? It's sort of a change not only in your environment, your social goings on, that alters everyone's behavior, everyone's life streams in a way where it is not only more prosperous, but it's also a lot more dynamic, a lot more healthy, a lot more very much in the realm of holding a higher quality space. And a lot of you are going to be finding that you are hitting a lot of milestones this week when it comes to maybe your relationships, work projects you've got going on. Again, a lot of no going back points are going to be set and realized, a lot of little graduation types of experiences as well. It's all in all a very, very beautiful week. But your personal responsibility card, when it comes to what you are responsible for, if you want to get the most out of this week, stay on the highest timeline, stay on the through line for this week, you've got the Queen of Wands upright here. And this is all about letting yourself actually start to become a lot more publicly accessible and celebrated for your true self. Now, the true self thing is very, very strong here with the Queen of Wands, because this is about dropping a lot of things that you have maybe been carrying on these last few years that have nothing to do with your own true heart, that have nothing to do with your own story, and really kind of getting into a space where you're taking a lot of the prosperity that's coming in, a lot of the support that's coming in, and applying it to actually bolstering and empowering the projects, the pursuits that you have that are the most personal. The Queen of Wands is also indicating here that there is going to be a lot of assistance coming your way, where you're going to be finding that people who are going to be supporting you and lifting you up are also going to be tearing down a lot of things that were maybe put on you, that you thought at one point or another was a good thing to carry, but it was not really yours. The Queen of Wands can sometimes show up as, sort of like the fairy godmother and the talent agent and the publicist all in one. There is a powerful help coming your way, whether it's a person or it's a group of people, or maybe it's just, again, a spiritual assistance that is going to be getting you out of a rut, but also at the same time letting your name be propagated, your energy be propagated, come out of the shadows. If you have been maybe taking a bit of, kind of being a bit of a wallflower this week, don't let that happen, because a lot of things that you're also going to need to do is, start being more public with things that you've been working on in private. This is a great week for debuts. This is a great week for launches. This is a great week for, campaigning, getting that attention, getting that support, getting all of that out there. But it's going to have to be done with complete authenticity. As we get on to your material shifts that are going on, you've got the High Priestess in reverse. And this is going to be a funky week where you're going to have to learn a lot of new things really, really quickly. You're going to find that you are elevating. You are actually, of course, going through a great deal of jumps and level ups, whether it's in the form of, like promotions, a lot of groundbreaking shifts in your field, opportunities to generate more material resources for yourself. But it's almost like you are jumping into a zone that's a few levels higher than you were prepared to take on. And I'm actually seeing with the High Priestess reversed, this is where we have to be okay with, either correcting something that might be not purposefully, but accidentally setting us up to struggle, not fail, but struggle, and also know where, again, we need to get the assistance, get the training, get the education, get the boost to our own skill set in order to thrive here, as opposed to maybe flail here. The High Priestess reverse is also indicating there might be some situations that come up where you are facing the consequences of some bad calls made by those who are either authorities in your life or people who were authority figures in your life in some way, or had some kind of control over your work future, your career future, or maybe your own, again, material resources, household situations, living situations. And you may be finding out, yeah, we've got to be in a position to learn how to reverse this, because clearly that authority or that power was put in the wrong hands. So yeah, every once in a while we gotta go and see, like, well, what's that manager really doing? What's that boss really doing? What's that landlord really doing? And how do we put ourselves in a position to be able to fix it ourselves and ascend into that position of, you know, mastering that situation and turning it into a success. A lot of you are going to get that chance this week. When it comes to your interpersonal relationships, you've got the Wheel of Fortune upright, and there does seem to be a massive turn to what your social landscape looks like, right? Non-material shifts, interpersonal relationships, closest one-on-one relationships. You're going to be finding that whether it's, you know, romantic interests or, you know, your closest one-on-one connections, even in a platonic way, the community is going through a bit of a shakeup, but not necessarily in a bad way. It's a shakeup and a wake up at the same time. Now, I am finding that for a lot of you, you may be observing that certain people are exhibiting personality traits, personality shifts that are actually maybe seem foreign to you, but are actually true and natural to them. Things that they may not have necessarily brought out in the past, things that maybe they had either hidden or suppressed, or maybe, you know, due to any kind of wounding or conditioning, did not think that they could actually express or carry in a way that would serve. The Wheel of Fortune is indicating a lot of a very strong encouragement is coming for that, and it's going to actually boost your social life, help heal a lot of your social connections again, and of course any existing romantic prospects or romantic relationships as well, because the culture around your social life is changing in a very, very big way. But with the Wheel of Fortune, it's evolving, it's moving into its next phase, it's moving into its next expression of self, its next higher expression of self. And for those of you looking for new people, pay attention. This is also going to bring in opportunities for friends or even new romantic partners that are actually encouraging that to also be a shift that you make, because they're already where you are going to be. As we get on to your personal shifts, you know, what's going on with you, you've got the Five of Wands in reverse. And so this is going to be a week where you have to confront where you don't, where we have to get off the bench and start actually playing with doing the work that maybe we don't trust ourselves to do, doing the work that maybe we have outsourced to people that we thought were more capable that are not truly more capable, right? We look at that High Priestess reversed. What the heck were they doing? The Five of Wands reversed is talking about paying attention to where you can also now start to catch up on things you did not have a chance to learn how to do, to learn how to be. Getting off the bench in this case can also indicate a lot of spaces where a lot of you Aquarius people are going to get a chance to do things that other people kept you from learning how to do, other people kept you from becoming your own boss with. And so if you're nervous about it, remember, it's never too late. You just have to allow yourself to step onto the field of play. Don't allow yourself to stay back. Don't allow yourself to be maybe too passive or too timid to be able to enjoy what it means and how it feels to actually be in the game, so to speak. So that's what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Pisces. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your week and what is presenting here in the cards. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. I've got a flash sale going on right now through the end of the 23rd. And it's on gift certificates for my Pathwatcher Soul Strategy sessions. The reason I do gift certificates is so that folks who can't find time to schedule an appointment during the sale can just take advantage of the sale in gift certificate form and then redeem it whenever the time works for them. Also, new light astrology horoscope for this week is up. So if you want to see that video, it's on my main channel page under a playlist of its very own. And new incoming wave is up. And my new video, The List, is up. That was the live I did on Friday if you want to catch the replay. It's about going through my process check for when I want to get things jump-started. You know, if I go through a period where I'm noticing all the readings and all the signs and synchronicities are saying the same thing, but it appears that nothing is going on, this is what I check. This is where I go to my list to start initiating chain reactions when I get into chain reaction territory. That being said, it is more of a bootstrap talk. Okay, I do not put sugar in the medicine I administer myself, so keep that in mind. I'm a bit old school that way. So what is going on when it comes to your cards? Well, for your main theme of this week, you've got the Page of Pentacles upright, and a lot of things that have been kind of up in the air, you know, in talk, in negotiation, or maybe even in the realm of concept and the non-physical are starting to actually manifest, put their money, their effort, and their energy and their material where their mouths are, if that makes sense. And with the Page of Pentacles, we are seeing the initiations of a lot of projects and new work paths also start to grow, start to build up. You are going to find that a lot of things that maybe you had also saved for later, or maybe kept on a high up shelf in order to come back to later, are also ready to come down off that shelf. And the support is there, the material support, the social support, all of that is going on, because it's a very powerful initiator kind of week, especially when you're kind of finding that it's time to start bringing things out of the proverbial oven. Other people are there to help you cook. Other people are there to help you set the table. This will show up with a lot of people that you've already been kind of canvassing, or knowing you Pisces people kind of looking over, checking up and down if you've been kind of waiting on making any decisions about whether or not so-and-so is right for the job, or if a certain initiative or certain collaborative or certain adventure is meant to be. This is the week where you're going to start getting a lot of those answers. Now, as far as your personal responsibility for this week is concerned, you've got the Two of Pentacles upright. This is how you stay on the highest trajectory. This is how you stay on the highest timeline. This is what you are responsible for, you know, when it comes to making sure you get the best out of this week. You've got the Two of Pentacles upright. And this is going to be a time where you're going to need to see where certain things that you've kept compartmentalized, kept separate, can no longer be allowed to compete with each other, to fight with each other. Where have things maybe gotten a bit out of balance? Where can we redistribute the energy a little bit better? Are certain aspects of your life becoming so demanding that they are actually creating a deficit in other areas of your life? How do we redistribute? Is it time to drop some balls that we are juggling? This is going to be a time where you are the executive, you are the boss. You have got to play with it, because you are also finding that a lot of areas of your life are evolving at a rate where it's happening so fast, you can't really make certain things wait. You've got so many things going on. I like the kitchen metaphor here, because it's like, yeah, the oven timer's about to go off, the water on the, you know, on the cooker is about to boil. We've got things needing to come out of the fridge so they don't get too cold. All kinds of stuff going on all at once. And so this is a week where you get to finally reorganize, rebalance, restructure, and, you know, really reset what the pace is. Do not keep things compartmentalized that don't need to be compartmentalized, and don't spread yourself too thin this week, and don't allow things to stay in separate timelines and in separate lives where you can help it, because you're not going to be able to keep up this pace if you do. All right, this is an encouragement. I'm not saying this because bad things are going to happen. I'm saying this because good things are happening. As we get on to your material shifts, when it comes to, you know, again, your personal abundance, your work, and all that kind of stuff, you've got the Hanged Man upright. And there are certain things that need to be maybe put on ice. I think that a lot of you are going to be putting a cap on something that is proving to become too costly, or is showing signs of going into the realm of being too costly, whether it's too costly because it's costing, again, material resources, costing too much time, becoming too high maintenance, or maybe even pulling a track or a pursuit that you're on down a road it does not belong on. It's maybe threatening to restart a looping timeline or a false timeline, or something that is going to just simply delay or compromise you in some way. The Hangman is indicating that you have all of the room, power, and resources to safely start putting things, again, bringing things to a halt that are, running the risk of getting out of control at no cost or loss to you. And this is where you want to be paying attention to that. Some things are also going to start stalling, getting slowed down for you, so that you can also back out, because the alternatives will be presenting, whether they are roles popping up, again, work opportunities popping up, different services that you can step into and work with popping up. Allow for that space for yourself to wiggle in and out and maneuver where you must go. As you get on to your non-material shifts, we have the Four of Swords upright. So we're talking about your one-on-one relationships, your interpersonal relationships, and things like that. And I am seeing a lot of you taking a time out, and not necessarily in a bad way. This could be a situation where you are giving some breathing room to some engagements that you have, maybe with certain friends, certain family members, maybe even entire groups that you are starting to realize aren't going to be able to do what it takes to maybe have the working environment, the social environment, the home environment that you are co-creating with your own higher levels, or those that are, I guess you could say, on equal footing with you. Now, it doesn't mean we're hurting anyone's feelings, but sometimes they're just not, they're not ready, in a sense that they can't be there for the construction. They can't be there for the building of it. Maybe they can enjoy it when it's all done. They can, again, they can eat the dinner when the cooking's finished, but they can't be in the kitchen with you. And a lot of you are going to be finding that maybe in a certain way, sometimes this could show up with a romantic partnership. We don't have to be glued at the hip all the time. You may be finding that taking a little bit of space, working on our own thing, getting our own life back, our own mission back, our own soul's journey back on track does require, putting a bit more of, personal territory time in, or giving yourself more personal territory where there may have been too much overlap. I am seeing with the Four of Swords, this is going to be a week where it is about you. It is about getting everything back on, again, its best timeline for you. So sometimes, yeah, other journeys that have been taking over, other stories that have been taking precedent do need to be, again, hoisted back on the shoulders that those belong to, and not necessarily yourself. It's okay. Also, for your personal shifts, what's going on this week, you've got the Ace of Swords reversed, very consistent. You are needing to pay attention to this week opportunities to champion things that you truly believe in, causes, pursuits, quests, passions that you have neglected for others, things that you may have not been defending, championing, putting energy into, lifting up, that actually means something to you on a deeply personal level. And when I say deeply personal, I mean deeply personal, Pisces. I'm not talking about necessarily always things that are, what you might consider to be commonplace in terms of values. We're talking about things that mean something to the core of your true self. The Ace of Swords reverse is giving you a chance to start pulling things back into proper order where other people or other influences might have been kind of steering things off course, maybe settling some tug of wars when it comes to interests, when it comes to ambition, when it comes to work ethic. This is a time to get things into a space where it's crystal clear the road that you are on. Now, I do feel for a lot of you as well with the Ace of Swords reverse, some of you may be also picking up some skills, some opportunities that you have been letting atrophy due to maybe work in other areas. That's fine. That's fantastic. That may actually be exactly what this week is for. So that is what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. Remember to check your rising sign to see more clarity as to how a lot of your sun sign horoscope is going to show up, and your moon sign to see what the less prominent but still available story that is also going on at the same time of all of this week. Y'all take care, and thank you so much for dropping by. Have a good one.